So why was it so good this week?
I think our intent tonight was there for the entire game, especially that first quarter. The skipper led the way. We came up against a side that, a week prior played. They were in some pretty good nick, playing against Melbourne, and we knew it was going to be a big challenge for us, and our intent had to be right. And I thought we were just on from the start. As I mentioned, Dorse's first quarter led the way, and then it seemed like the guys just got on board, and momentum was then with us. But we stuck to it for 4 quarters right throughout. So that's the most pleasing part about it, that we were able to keep that intent for 4 quarters tonight.
If you look into their away form and so then want to make that intent known very early to put them on the back foot, they don't come off that back foot too well on the road?
Yeah, we didn't speak about it a lot this week, to be honest. We focused in on what we knew we needed to do at home. But we talked about their contest. We talked about what they had in around the footy, and that was going to be a big challenge for us. We actually met them throughout the pre-season. I know that doesn't count, but we took a lot out of that game and what we did really well. And then the guys were able to activate that straight away tonight. So it was really pleasing.
Do you think that's the cleanest you've been offensively this year? Kind of looked like you were last year in a way?
Yeah, it was. It was no doubt. And it came off our contest. We were able to get that ball on the ground. We felt coming in that if we were able to get the aerial done, at least half that contest, they're very good ahead of the ball. They're very good behind the ball. From an intercept mark point of view, we thought if we could half that contest, that would give us a good chance. And we did that, and then our offence came off the back of it. We were clean with the ball. We were deliberate, gave our forwards a chance.
Now, please, there's a few that there's a spread of goal kickers. There isn't like last year when you played West Coast, it was test kicking a couple of bags, but this time I guess it's like 2s, 3s, all that kind of stuff. Yeah,
really pleasing. We had 13 goal kickers on the night, and Riley O'Brien got involved, which was nice. Off his contest as well. But that's pleasing, and that it shows that we do. Hopefully going forward, we can have a number of goal kickers, that can contribute, and we don't rely on necessarily one. I was a little nervous coming in, Isaac not being there. He's been so important for us, and him not being there with injury, where our goals are going to come from. But the group stepped up. They went to another level today, really pleasing.
To start the game, you had Josh in at the centre bounce, and then Jordan coming off the wing. Was that all about, kind of getting another body of the contest? Because then Lockie would kind of drop back into the wing pretty quickly. Yeah,
there was an intent in that. That was part of our plan coming in was to make it a contest, and that's a sign of respect. We've seen what they'd done the week prior and how strong they are in that area. They've got some experienced players, and then they've got the youth of Reed, and he's in some rare form, and so we felt early, let's make that even more of a contest. We didn't go to it a lot on the day, but even in general play, we wanted to get as many numbers around the ball as we could.
Just back on Dawson, that was some effort to actually set the tone. What's he like behind closed doors as a leader? Like in public, he seems pretty low key, if you can just shine a bit of light on what he's like in the dressing room, you guys.
Yeah, and during the week probably more so. He leads by example on the field. I think that's what everyone can see. He has got the other part too. There's a reason we picked him in our lead, as our captain, and it wasn't just because of what he was doing on field. He's as good as any. He's come in and he's learnt from some of the best. He was lucky enough to have Rory Sloane in charge when he got here. Tex Walker still at the club as a former captain. So, to have those bonuses there that he can learn from, share ideas, share thoughts with for 12 months and then take the role himself. But he brought leadership with him, which is what we saw in him when we went after him and tried to acquire him. He's a player who leads by voice, by the way he puts his head over the footy, and so we went pretty hard for him for a reason.
A couple of goals and assists early on for Braden Court coming. He came to the club so raw. Do you feel like he's starting to find his place at AFL level now?
Yeah, I feel I'm really happy for Cookie. He stuck it out. He's a super talented player, ball in hand especially. He can do some freaky stuff. We challenged him around some of the contest part that we believe's needed at this level. There's a level you need to be at, and he went to work. He's got a pretty good size about him, so he can compete in the air. And I thought, they're the things we'll look back on today, and we'll enjoy as a group. When he's attacking the footy in the air and bringing that ball to ground, as I mentioned before, their intercept mark ability is strong, West Coast, and Cookie went hard a few times, and that's what we need from him. That's the sort of stuff we expect. His offence and his skills with the ball in hand will look after themselves and reward us off the back of that.
How raw was he when he got to the club? Like, how far was he behind his other draftees when he got there?
I want to be respectful to Cookie, but he was a young lad when he arrived at the footy club. Pretty raw, as I mentioned, super talented, but he's grown so quickly. He's developed so fast. But we knew it was maybe going to take a little longer, for him, and he's rewarded us now.
Another moment, I think it was in the first quarter, where Nate smothered that ball from Ryan and got at the other end and get the goal through Schonberg. I mean, how much do you with that moment from Nate, do you show that again to the guys during the reviews?
Well, that comes under the intent that I'm talking about, and it's where we're putting our priorities. What acts do we prioritise as a group? And a lot of people probably see and talk about the offence and the goals that are scored, but when we dig deeper, we go into those acts. We have a look at the ones you're mentioning, and there are a lot more on the day. Little things that maybe go unnoticed. They're not seen on the TV, but we had it across the board today. It was a really positive day for us, one that we'll learn a lot from. I often talk about, you learn from wins and losses, but this one's one where we can go back and look at some really positive, moments and individual acts.
The Saligo substitution, can you just take us through the thinking there?
Probably more of a long-term view on it. This is something that we've been looking at now for a number of weeks. He's a first-year full-time mid. This is the first year that he's actually been in there full-time, and he's had a huge impact for us, and we know that will become quite grinding for some of those players that haven't done it. And so it was a plan coming in. If things were going well, we had Sam Berry ready to go, and we know what Sam Berry brings, especially after a half of football when he can come in fresh. So that played out really well for us today, and hopefully that sets us up for Solly, that he'll be a little fresher for that.
So he wasn't carrying anything into the game? Or?
No, there's no injury there. It's more of a long-term view.
What do you feel like this win can do to set, I know the bye's coming up, it's set you up for the back half of the season, obviously the slow start to the season. What do you feel like a win like that, especially, such a big percentage boost in one can do for the run home?
Yeah, percentage will be important. Well, some would say it's not because we got a draw under our belt, but there seems to be more draws this year than ever, so it may be really important for us. But it's just another confidence builder. We came into this game confident of how we're playing footy. We weren't necessarily getting the reward and the outcomes. We were losing close games. We had a draw in amongst that. It's been a strong 5 or 6 weeks for us where we've built confidence, but probably found ourselves frustrated. So today was a nice reward for that form that we feel we do have. But it means nothing. We've got to come out again next week now. And we come up against a team we got to watch, I guess, on the lead into our game, Hawthorn. They're in some great form. So we've got another challenge coming next week.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks. Cheers.